Greetings, greetings, and welcome to the celebration of our 28th Peacemaker, Claudia Brown. She flinched a little. We'll have to work on her a little, the humility. Bill McKibben said, "Very few people on earth ever get to say, 'I am doing right now the most important thing I could possibly do.' If you'll join this fight, that's what you'll get to say." I don't know if Claudia read that quote or heard that quote, but she certainly joined the fight and is certainly doing important things. I'm so grateful for the Missoula Peace Quilters who have 28 years ago taken the beauty that they had and made things of great art to share with the people that inspired them. I'd like to ask them to stand and accept our appreciation. These ladies have made quilts for all 28 Peacemakers, in addition to quilts of goodwill that have been sent all around the world. I have a kind of a very special one hanging in my office, if any of you have been there. And they've made recently a very, very special one that is called the Raise the Root quilt that you can see out in the lobby out there. That is to help the Jeannette Rankin Peace Center raise money for our new root. So we're very appreciative of that and honored to be privileged with that. You all can buy a raffle ticket later on and maybe even get lucky and be able to take Raise the Root home. We're going to draw it in September. So, I'd also like to see, ask the members of the Jeannette Rankin Peace Center Coordinating Council to stand, if there are any members here. Another couple coming in there. These are the folks who guide the Peace Center all year long so that we can live our mission to educate people, actually inspire people about nonviolence, social justice, and environmental stewardship. That's one of the reasons why today is so special, because it's our chance to show you what peace looks like, what it acts like, and hopefully inspire you to carry on the work. So these two groups, the Missoula Peace Quilters and the Jeannette Rankin Peace Center, came together last fall to choose Claudia from a number of worthy nominations that we received. Each year we look for someone who goes beyond one good thing or a few good things. We look for someone who actually makes working for peace a very important part of their life, a committed part of their life. Someone who, by their example, leads us and inspires us and helps us learn how to do better. Whether Claudia is writing a letter to the editor, starting a new group to work on climate issues, buying the latest documentary and planning on how she can show it to all of us so we can learn what we need to learn, reading a book to increase her personal understanding and awareness of peace, finding a new way to cut her own carbon footprint, protesting coal, big ag, megalows, or carrying on despite fatigue, lack of help, and the risk of arrest. Claudia Brown fit those criteria without a doubt. In fact, I was rather nervous on the way over here because I passed a protest, a coal protest, and I thought, oh gosh, she won't even show up. Thankfully, she's here. Protest carries on without you. See what you're doing? So the Missoula Peace Quilters have spent the winter making a very special quilt that expresses Claudia and her work in a truly unique way. And we will get to see that very, very soon. Most all of the Peacemakers have sacrificed a lot for their causes, and Claudia is no exception. So this quilt, I know, as many of the quilts that I've seen, is treasure of beauty that helps somewhat offset that sacrifice. So we're happy to be able to present that to you, Claudia, today for your work. And now I'd like you to settle back and enjoy a beautiful earth meditation called Stepping Stones. It will be a chance for us to settle and focus on why Claudia's work is so important.
So let us turn away now from the kingdoms of humankind and the instruments of our civilization and go out across the open earth where we can walk and see and breathe freely, and where each step we take in opening our awareness becomes a stepping stone to the next. I ask the earth, how shall I begin? And the earth replies, begin where you are. Walk along the path before you. Walk your own path. And I ask the earth to teach me. And the earth replies, I am color, bold, saturated, and subtle. And the earth said, I am space, distances beyond your imagination. And the earth said, I am texture, to see with your mind and touch with your fingertips. And the earth said, I am form, each manifestation of myself, perfection. And the earth said, I am stillness, for I am at peace with myself. said, I am rhythm. Even when it does not seem so, I move and I dance. Said, I am pattern, everywhere, discovery and design. And the earth said, I am illumination. Without the sun and moon, you could not see my colors and contours. you would not perceive my patterns and textures. I warm up the world. And I cool it down. I am light, and I permit life to be. And bring forth my lesser light to watch over you throughout the night. Tomorrow, there will be a new day with new clarity and more stepping stones laid out before you.
In case any of you did not know, Nancy Kirk is our very own Nancy Conrad. And she would like to say a few words, and following her, we'll hear from Carol Marsh, and then from Claudia's son, Chris. So,
Mother Teresa once said, "We're not here to do great things. We're here to do small things with a big heart." She must have been talking about Claudia Brown when she said that. I was one of the people who nominated Claudia because she's a model of faith in humankind, believing we can all do our small part to save our Earth home. She reaches out to people, she enlists and inspires them. She connects them to one another in ever-widening networks. And she supports them as they discern the personal steps they feel comfortable in taking. She welcomes people, she organizes effective meetings, and she constantly shares useful information. She believes in bringing people together, potlucks, and learning and celebrating. I'm sure all of us here have experienced Claudia's warmth and graciousness, her respectful interest in others, and her positive attitude. Those close to her know that she works tirelessly and selflessly, and that she doesn't give up. Remember that old song about the little old ant who thought he'd move a rubber tree plant? Now, anyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant, but he had high hopes. He had high hopes. So when you're feeling down and blue, don't know what to do, just remember that ant. Whoops, there goes another rubber tree plant. Claudia has been a board member of MUD, a secretary of the Montana Association of Churches Commission, which wrote position papers on environmental and social justice issues, and the organizer of a UCC conference called Bridging the Gap Between Church and Environmentalism. In the 16 years that I have known her, I have seen her work in 4 organizations. Perhaps some of you remember Caring for Creation, a network of people of faith working through education and action to preserve biodiversity and sustainability. Over 9 years, there were book groups, rallies, forums, films, legislative advocacy, projects like litter pickups, and a major conference in Missoula called Spirit, Commerce, and Sustainability. As part of the local group Global Warming Solutions, Claudia participated in a fast in Washington, D.C., and organized a poetry fundraiser. Claudia then involved 11 churches in Missoula in greening our faiths, to do greening of buildings and conservation education within congregations. And for the past 3 years, Claudia co-founded and has been the driving force behind Transition Missoula. Our next speaker will tell you more about this. One of her many friends and a mutual friend wrote, "Claudia, you are the perfect choice for this award. You are like a volcano, a peaceful, even humble exterior with a heart of passion and fire. When you rumble and move, watch out. You are the example to all of us of what a peacemaker and a leader needs to be."
I haven't known Claudia nearly as long as Nancy, but oddly enough, I was thinking about that rubber tree plant. I had that going through my mind last week as I was thinking about this program. I've only known Claudia for a few years, and we met because I had read, well, Claudia and I shared the certainty that there is no greater or more urgent task facing humanity than coming to grips with climate change. So I met her a few years ago when I read Rob Hopkins' Transition Handbook, and I really wanted to get involved in this international local movement. And it turned out that Claudia Brown was the person who was making it happen here in Missoula. And she and I worked very closely for quite a while in the next few years on Transition Missoula. So I'm going to tell you something about that, but I guess preceding that, I just want to say she's amazing. She's one of the finest people I've ever known. Her absolute focus and commitment and boundless energy is just amazing. It's awesome. It really is. And she's been the heart and soul of Transition Missoula, and I've had quite a lot of other movements in Missoula and elsewhere to improve the planet. Transition Missoula is part of a positive, practical, global, and grassroots movement whose goal is to build community while reducing consumption in the face of potentially catastrophic shocks resulting from climate change, natural resource depletion, and economic fragility. Its mission statement is that Transition Missoula facilitates a citizen-led process of fostering a resilient, vibrant community while strengthening our local economy. Transition Missoula is confident that we can all not merely survive future challenges, but truly flourish. The way you get into Transition Missoula or any other transition initiative throughout the world is by reading Rob Hopkins' Transition Handbook together with other people. And here in Missoula, we've had 7 reading groups, and one of them was at the Jeannette Rankin Peace Center, and out of that group grew the Missoula Time Bank. That's kind of how it's supposed to work. You know, you study Rob Hopkins' book, and it's sort of pushing you to get out there and do something. And what this group did was start the Missoula Time Bank, which you can find online at MissoulaTimeBank.org. And this is a group a place where you can get outside the money economy altogether and contribute your services, whatever you're capable of contributing, all the way from professional to, well, my services that are on offer include walking dogs, and copy editing, and the whole range in between. You get ideas from what other people are offering for things that you can do yourself. And the only currency is time, and you exchange through the time bank. So you're not exchanging with another person. I'm giving services, I'm taking services, and so on through the time bank. And works really well. When I had recently thought I might be going to jail, I had arranged for somebody to be helped out, It just turned out not to be necessary that time. But, so we've had 7 reading groups, and also we've been showing local films. I mean, not local films, documentary films about climate change and related topics. And bringing, substantial groups of people together at the library to watch the films and discuss the films and the topics and transition. We participated in several Turning the Tide conferences, and we work actively and actively work with other local groups, because this is a transition town, and it was a transition town before transition was even thought of. There's so much positive energy in Missoula working on various aspects of these problems. And I think right now Transition Missoula is seeking 501c3 status to improve its financial situation. After all this time, years and years, we've got, I think Missoula has, the transition has about $300 in the bank. We're I'm saying we, Claudia noticed, I'm sure. I took a break. After a few years of this, I needed a break. I took a break. It's over. I'm back. We need other people on the steering committee, and the only qualification for being on the steering committee is that you have read or are reading the Transition Handbook. And we're going to participate in the April 26th Rally for Climate Solutions, where I hope you will all be at the exits at 1 p.m. on April 26th. Transition Missoula also actively supported the recent megaload blockades. And I was really delighted when Claudia told me that she was going to join me sitting down in the road in front of this, my 100,000-pound megaload. And then she brought Gail Gilman with her. So the three of us sat down in front of the megaload, and just the luck of the draw, Gail and I drew the nice cop, and Claudia drew the other one. So Gail and I were cited and released. And Claudia went to jail and was photographed and fingerprinted and the works. And this is a first-time experience for her. She had never been arrested before. But it was wonderful. And now Nancy has something to add.
This is a poem by Gladys Considine. I hope maybe here. It is to Carol Marsh and Claudia Brown and Gail Gilman, and it's called The Grandmothers. In the dark and the cold of a winter night, bundled in coats, hats, Under Armour, and wrapped with scarves, the grandmothers, who had survived 70 winters at least, sat in the street. A fascinating parade of megalode destruction was passing through the night, dodging overhead traffic lights and obstacles with multi-wheeled precision, until it ground to a halt, because the grandmothers sat in the street. For at least a few minutes, with determination and strength of will, caring enough to try, they stopped the behemoth world of crazed oil sands energy production, because they sat in the street. The grandmothers did what many of us didn't even know we could. They drew attention to the monsters rolling through the city, and to themselves suffered notoriety, arrest and removal by policemen just doing their jobs. They sat in the street. These grandmothers, in their 70-year wisdom, saw the plight of world change in the race to produce more energy. They sat in the street. We other grandmothers will fight our own battles for human rights, security, health care, food enough for everyone, freedom to choose, and freedom from poverty. And sometimes we, too, may sit in the street. But that night, these grandmothers sat in the street.
I guess I'm up next here. You'll have to bear with me. As you can probably imagine, it's actually very emotional to have your mother receive an award like this, and so if I get a little choked up, you can understand why. Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever spoke about my mother in public before, and it's actually quite an honor, and I appreciate it very much, and especially for an important award like this. I'm the second child of Gary and Claudia Brown, Chris Brown, and my older brother Alan is here also. We have a younger sister, Robin, who is not here today. She couldn't make it, unfortunately. Claudia and Gary have 4 grandchildren. My sister has 2 kids, Katie and Sarah, and they're, I got to look here, they're 12 and 14. And then I have 2 boys with my wife, Irene, and Bo is 10 and Max is 12. And Max is here today. I'm very pleased to have have it here. It's wonderful to have him witness my mother receiving this award. So we're very excited, as you can imagine, our family, and inspired by my mom receiving this award, like I said. And we are here, Alan and Max and I, to show our family support. And I brought a picture of my dad as well. Like my mom, my father was called, felt a very strong call to stand for what he believed. And I know that he is very proud and very inspired as well. But in addition to the support, the family support, I would like to just say just a few brief things from a family perspective. Because the patience and courage and determination and conviction that my mom is being recognized for today has been expressed in many other aspects of her life. And in my view, the most inspirational and the most amazing expression of those qualities are not actually here in climate change action. As impressive and as important as they are, in my view, it is what she has done for our family. And that basically gets to how she held us together as a family through many hard years. Back in the 80s, our family went through a renaissance, and the reason for that is because of my mother. Without her, I don't think we would have survived those times as positively as we did. And all of us received so much from her. Indeed, I do not believe that my father would have become the man he was if it were not for her a love and amazing strength of character. And so I would like to say to my mother here, thank you. At a personal level, I'm deeply grateful for who you are and what you have done for not only climate change, but also for other organizations and certainly for our family. And also, congratulations for receiving the 2014 Peacemaker Award. I don't think it could go to a more gracious, noble, and deserving person.
A few of us choked up there. Now, very special, I would like to present Deb Franson, who would like to read a letter from Senator Tester to you.
Thank you. And Senator Tester, sorry he can't be here today, but he asked me to bring this message. Thank you for inviting me to share a few words, and congratulations to Claudia Brown for being named the Missoula Peacemaker of the Year. You're following in the footsteps of many Missoula's finest, Dan Gallagher, Father Jim Hogan, Jane McAllister, and so many more. Thank you for your work with Transition Town Missoula and the Caring for Creation Network, and thank you for being a leader in the area of global climate change. Best of luck with your future endeavors. Please stay in touch. Sincerely, Senator John Tester.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Starrett, and I'm representing the Missoula Peace Quilters. And as I listen to all these wonderful people talk of such wonderful things that Claudia has done, I am again just taken with the grace of her work and of who you are. And I hope that you will find that this represents what we learned about you and what I think we can. And not to wax on too much on the interpretation, but there are often several things that the Peace Quilters do. One is that we, many of the Peace Quilters will know something about the recipient, and so we share a lot among ourselves. We also interview the recipient in their home or place of their choice, and learn more about them, not just about their peace work, but who they are outside of that, as a mom, as a preschool teacher, as a member of a congregation, and favorite colors, things like that. So when we left, we decided that we needed something with curves and to represent the grace, and something that also took a concept that I'd like to share with you as best I can, that Claudia talked with us in her work on self-sustaining efforts to keep the planet healthy. She talked about the planet Earth being the child of the universe, a little different twist to the Mother Earth concept. And so in this pattern, this represents the Earth, and this represents the universe or the Mother. And I think also there is a universal consciousness that we as people on the planet then take care of the planet. And so again, as her son so lovingly put, that when we are teachers, we are also learners, and that clearly comes back as a parent and child and grandchildren and so on. So Claudia, we offer this to you for all your wonderful work as the Peacekeeper of the Year, Peacemaker of the Year, 2014. And hope you enjoy it.
Not a little overwhelmed. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. And thanks to the Peace Quilters for the beautiful quilt. And thank you for Betsy. Thank you, Betsy. And Amy for putting this on. Thank you. And thank you for Ben. And now who's going to sing? Thank you. And for Lauren Harris for setup, and Dick Twilby, and Nancy. Thank you. Oh, what a beautiful photography and poetry, and for Carol. Thank you. Gosh. Now, would you take a deep breath with me? And now take another deep breath and close your eyes. And think of something that you are grateful for. A person or an event or a place, and feel your gratitude for that for which you're grateful. Feel it in your body. And then open your eyes and be aware of everyone around you. And feel the web of gratitude that holds us all up. And I want to say, I am grateful for so much. And I am grateful grateful for my husband, Gary. He gave me the love and the security and the stability that I needed to grow. And he was an inspiration to me for what he did. In this photo, he is at the School of the Americas in Georgia, where he went to protest, along with Amy Carter and many others, Gail Gilman from Missoula. And another time when he, with a few others, did a sit-in at Senator Max Baucus's office and was arrested and went to jail for climate change. And so I bailed him out. And I'm also very grateful to my family for coming and for your support. Thank you, Chris and Max and Alan. And for Robin, who is unable to come. I'm also grateful for the positive vision that the transition movement has provided and taught me, and for all the resources, including a web seminar that I watched or listened to a week ago to help me with this, and who gave me the idea for the gratitude meditation we just did. Many, many wonderful resources on the Transition US website to help with support in climate change. I really needed that because about a week ago, in preparation for this, I went to the IPCC website, that's the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. And what it said just put me in a state of deep grief. Oh, even though I knew, what's happening, it just hit me in the gut that it's happening so much faster and with so much more certainty than was evident before. So, put me right back there in that state of grief. And I had to search for ways to lift myself up out of that. Because, I can't stay there, and I have to dance. And I have to sing. And I thought of that Quaker hymn that Beth is going to sing for us, which really helped me so much, and also made me cry more. I had thought that I would just refer to Nancy's beautiful photographs, and it just made me think that I needed to shift and be very frank about what's happening to us. Chairman Pachuri of the IPCC said, "No one on this planet will be untouched by climate change. Climate impacts are already severe, pervasive, and irreversible. Now it is more certain, and we are further along that path. We must work to limit climate change, and that work must be increased." The journal Nature, a study that did, found that we are headed toward a most likely warming of roughly 6 degrees Fahrenheit above current temperatures. Bear in mind that humans have never lived on a planet at temperatures 6 degrees above Fahrenheit at any time since the pre-industrial baseline. The mining of the tar sands in Alberta, Canada, continued to destroy vast areas of sensitive wastelands. Scientists warn that it is impossible to rebuild or rehabilitate the complex ecosystems there. These are some headlines that I read in my search from the Washington Post. Climate change response demands urgency. Evidence of acceleration of anthropogenic climate disruption on all fronts. World powers running out of time to cut their use of high-polluting fossil fuels. So, this is an educated audience. What else do you know about that we are facing? Call out what you know.
The erosion of coastlines in Alaska.
Yeah. What else? Wildfires.
The consideration or at least the consideration of geoengineering as a human interference in the ecosystem of the planet that is being discussed.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Acidification and warming of the ocean.
Yes, acidification and warming of the oceans.
The moose are dying in northern New Hampshire.
Yes.
And the bees.
And the bees. Yes.
The Pacific Islanders are losing their homeland.
The Pacific Islanders are losing their homeland.
The global agricultural system is becoming untenable.
The global agricultural system is becoming untenable. Yes. Yes, local food is what we have to do. Yes. So, you know, it is overwhelming, but we can't stay there. We have to act. And locally, we know about wildfires. And was it a year ago that Lolo Creek, the lower reaches of Lolo Creek were dewatered. So we have a water shortage system anytime that there isn't adequate snowpack in the mountains. But we also have a lot to be thankful for because Missoula is ahead of a lot of other places. Of course, I didn't. Well, I didn't bring up the Clark Fort Coalition and the GEOS Institute have produced booklets and information. Yes, thank you. Oh, here it is. The Missoula County Climate Change Primer. And I have other information that's out on the table in the narthex there. If you see something that you need to have, take it, except for my books. You can look at the books. I'm also so grateful for people here who have done such good work. I'm grateful for the Time Bank and the work you Time Bank people have done. What a resource. It's wonderful. I'm thankful to Jill Albin of the Clark Fort Coalition and the work she does. And I'm grateful for Amy Silver of the Audubon Society, who works tirelessly on climate change. I'm grateful to Patrick Marsalek, who teaches nonviolent communication, which has really helped me. And he gives classes, and he meets, he's just changed, I think, every Wednesday or Thursday at noon. Wednesday at noon at the Jeannette Rankin Peace Center. And Ethel McDonald because I'm just noticing while it's here. Her bike riding. I'm so inspired by her. And thanks to all of you for the work that you do in climate change. And yet, there's many who are not yet touched by the profound facts of climate change, who are not ready to acknowledge our urgency. We are so comfortable that it insulates us. And so grief has a spiritual purpose. We need to feel the grief of what we are losing. We need to feel it in our gut and our heart, because it enables us to be open to what is happening and to feel the need and the will to act. And the same is true of the transition movement. It gives us resources and ideas and that positive vision of what to do. We have to mobilize on a par with the mobilization for World War II. That is a striking fact, and that's what we need to do. God, may we do it. I have faults and inadequacies, but I also have conviction and commitment, and I have a love for this earth. And those things help me. And I also am really working to be the change that I seek, which is so important because peace starts from within. And peace and climate change are really connected. So when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I also found a wonderful Jewish blessing in Marge Piercy's poetry book. And my son, Max, who is Jewish, will read that poem for you.
Grandson.
Did I say son?
Look around us, search above us, below, behind. We stand in a great web of being joined together. Let us praise, let us love the life we are lent, passing through us in the body of Israel. And our own bodies, let us say, Amen. Time flows through us like water. The past and the dead speak through us. We breathe our children's children blessing. Blessed is the earth from which we grow. Blessed the life we are lent. Blessed the ones who teach us. Blessed the ones we teach. Blessed is the word that cannot say the glory, that shines through us and remains to shine, flowing past distant suns on the way to forever. Let us say, Amen. Amen. Blessed is light, blessed is darkness, but blessed above all else is peace, which bears the fruits of knowledge on strong branches. Let us say, Amen. Amen. Peace that bears joy in the world, peace that enables love, peace over Israel. Everywhere, blessed and holy is peace. Let us say, Amen. Amen.
Claudia, this hymn is the only work of art, framed work of art that I commissioned years ago and was on the wall of my studio. So it's a dear enjoyment. This is the Pete Seeger lyrics. So Pete, who was in part of the era, the subcommittee meetings where they sentenced him to a year in prison. And so the third verse, I thought this was very interesting, the very last verse, which is after our verse that we're all going to do today, is about that time. Thursday night time. So, speaking of our verse, this is so beautiful that I would just love to have everyone join me on the melody anyway of this hymn. And your part goes like this. Got that? Comes after the second chorus. It'll be really true. My life goes on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real bow song of him, the tales of new creation through all the tumult and the strife. I hear the music ringing, it sounds echoing my soul. How can I keep from singing? While though the tempest loudly roars, I hear the truth it liveth, and though the darkness round me grows, songs in the night given, no storm can shake my inmost home. When to that rock I'm clinging, if love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can we keep from singing?
Thank you, Beth. And thank you, Claudia. That was great and very nice. Now I would like to acknowledge all of our local heroes. Just added a new one today. He will go down in the history of Missoula. Claudia, welcome. It's become our tradition to ask all of our peacemakers to come forward and welcome the newest member of the Peacemakers. So I'd like to ask them to do that now. Claudia, if you'll come up here. And I'm not going to call them out. You guys can just come up. If you're interested in seeing more about the Peacemakers, there's scrapbooks up in the reception area, and you can see all about all 28 of them.